Yo guys, I'm back and I need to fix a couple of things. So you might have already realized that there's something not really, some things are not really working. We're lucky, it's just one tiny thing, but it's pretty annoying. So I would like to fix this stuff. Yeah. So the problem is basically when we use our game instance, we have inside our locked doors array, the string array, we have default values, right? So this means when we let me just show you. And then I will also, on top of that, show you something new, okay? Something really nice. You will be obviously really happy about, I guess. So I will just show you exactly how you can do that. So, inside our AC inventory, we have the problem that when we click on this locked doors, we set those default values. The problem is, once we do this stuff here, so we load to character, this means we always load our game instance, so all those stuff we have, I will show you this in a bit because I have another array called unlocked doors, so this is fixing the issue. Sorry. So, yeah, this array alone is not enough. The thing is, like one problem is, when we always load to game instance, so when we press play, this fires, right? So we know, okay, character is valid because this is self, it goes to the AC, yes, we have a character reference, and here's the problem. The game instance doesn't this was empty, and in your case, this is empty, right? So when it's empty, it's just overwriting our stuff we have inside our AC inventory. So this one is the AC inventory, and sorry for that, no, the other way around. This get node here, because we load to character, this is coming from our game instance. In your case, this is empty. When you click on this should be like this, like so. So we are basically getting this empty stuff here and putting this, overwriting this, and then this is empty, and our unlocked doors are suddenly all not locked anymore, okay? The other way around is when I update this. So when we just skip this stuff, we just remove it from our game instance, then we have another problem. So when we just remove it, yes, in the beginning, this is all here, so it's not blank anymore, so we need to unlock the door. But the next problem is, then this doesn't get an update because we're not using it in our game instance. So when we are not using it in our game instance and we respawn to or like we go back into the next room, this is again the key we just unlocked. It hasn't been removed because now this is reset. Okay, so again, you have this one we removed previously because we had the key, is now appearing again. So no matter how you do it, if you add it or if you just leave it, it will lead always to a bug. This means then logically I came to the conclusion that something is missing, right? So when you do different things and it always leads to different kind of bugs, it is usually because you need to add more logic to it. So this is unfortunately what we have to do, but then we are completely fine and everything works flawlessly. Okay, so what we need to do, you need to go into your door BP, okay, the master, doors, master. So, no, sorry, I was trying to fix some things here, but no, just forget what I'm telling you. I'm just confused. No, I did change something, but then I removed it. Sorry for that. So I found another solution. I was playing around, but then I found a solution. So you remember when you go into this grab function, right? In our AC, when we do this check, you remember that we check locked doors, right? So this is fine for now. Once we are not leaving our map, so we're not leaving our room, we do know that this door. That is basically checking, yes, there is something inside, yes, there is a key in this door ID, so this is true, we need a key. Okay, so let's go back, and then we go the next step, here, grab items, so then we know, oh, okay, so if there's value inside this door ID, we do know that this is yes, this red stuff here, the boolean is yes, it means key is required. So, then we do know this is going this way when it's a key required, then we just search for this key and we do know, yes, it contains our key array. So we have this key, I told you already, and then we remove this locked doors, okay? So now this is fine, but as I told you before, so now we remove this key basement because we unlocked it, it's good, but when we go into the next map, we have this problem, as I told you. Load to character. So we are basically loading, this stuff again, because it's our default value. Okay, and this key basement is appearing again. So, yeah, so what we need to do, you create another string array, just like the locked doors, but you call this unlocked doors, because we need like a separate list, like a separate pool of information. So every time we remove this from our locked doors, So this needs to be default. This is please do this default stuff, okay? And also at the same time do this in your game instance as well. So when you go into your game instance, also put all the default values in there, because otherwise he's just going to delete it. Default values are not considered, okay? So locked doors. This needs to be, click on the plus. This, you need to add manually those keys you want to have, okay? Those IDs in your game instance for locked doors, just like you have here in your locked doors for the AC. When we unlock a door, we remove this particular ID here, okay? So our locked doors has now, when we're not leaving the room, this is removed. So now we can just store our key and we can still open the room, okay? Everything is good. But when we come back, this is default again, because you see, those are default values. It's hard-coded basically. So, but here's the solution. When we remove this particular ID, this particular door ID, at the same time, we connect this one to this now new, get this, new string array called unlocked doors. And this time we just do it the other way around. We add this particular one we just remove from our locked doors, and we add this one to our unlocked doors array. So it makes sense. So this is not really complicated. Now what we need to do, so you do this here, okay, in your f unlocked door directly after you remove this one. Then we need to always update now our default values, because this will always spawn all the time. So now we always need to update this with logic every time we have event begin play. So you do click on the plus and you do f update unlocked doors, create this one. And you have only this here, right? Now inside this function, get the unlocked doors, this one you just created, get this one. Because when we unlock, this has a value. When we unlock 10 doors, here are 10 doors, okay? Now saved, depending on how many doors. It's always inside this one, because we added. From there, just type it for each loop, okay? And then this is connected here, for each loop, and it's connected here. This means when we unlock one door, this loop body will have one value. If we unlock 3 doors, this loop body gets fired 3 times with 3 those values which are inside here. So if you unlock 3 doors with 3 different key IDs, they get added here after every unlock logic. And then when we loop this every single time, those things we remove. So we get our locked doors, then after this we get our locked doors and we just get remove, not the remove index, but the remove item, like so. And this array element is here. And you're connected to the loop body, okay? So just build it like it is here, you can see. So now we have to play this function additionally inside our BP character, BPRE character. Just do it when you load to character, you have this function. After this, you put this here, AC inventory, from here, get your AC inventory, and then F update unlocked doors. Then you play remove picked up items, we did in the last episode, in the end. And then you equip your weapon with the equip function we just updated, because in the last episode we also did a huge update here. Otherwise you're gonna have trouble with your equipped weapon. So if you have all this stuff, now everything is perfect, right? So just test it out. Just build this F update unlock doors and put it here. Okay? So the order matters. And just do like so. Okay? Just to tell you again, in the grab item, when we check the unlock, nothing changed here. Then we unlock the door, and this is the only difference we have. We have this new array called unlocked doors, and we just drag from here and add. And what do we add? This stuff. Because this is the specific ID we just unlocked here. So the locked doors is now, this value is now removed, and at the same time we just transfer this unlocked ID, this particular one, we transfer this to the so-called unlocked door array, and we need a separate list, okay? So we can always get this list, and we feed this one here inside after load to character, so after we just got our values from our game instance, okay? We will just remove those locked doors, depending on what we have inside our unlocked doors. Now, of course, your unlocked doors, if you don't connect them to your game instance, of course they will be empty, because also they will just be empty. Makes sense when you don't connect them to the game instance. So what you have to do, of course, is you go into your event graph. This is the big function here, event, sorry. And also you get the, here, set unlocked doors. So you have the set unlocked doors array in your game instance as well. You have to create it here and also in the AC inventory. So, okay, don't be confused, you have to create this one here in the game instance as well. And then you can go here in this event, load to game instance, and from here you set unlocked doors, because this is empty, right? Because we only have the unlocked doors data in our AC, okay? And then you get the unlocked doors, and you just put it, boom, into the set unlock doors, which comes from the game instance. And then you go to the f function, function f load to character, this function here, we just created here, and you do the same. But this time you get from the instance. So this time it's not set. This time is get unlocked doors, okay? And then here you set, because now after event begin play, this is empty, right? But this game instance is saving all our stuff, and then we just do the other way around, and then you have all your data again collected. Okay, so make sure the unlocked doors is set in this function here, and also in this event. Okay, and then you can just use this stuff in this unlock door function, f unlock door. Just add this array. Okay, not add this array. Just get this array here from your AC, and just the door ID add this into this. Okay, and the update also, because I told you everything again. You have this update lock doors, okay? So you create this function. This is a completely new function now for you, okay? So you have to create this completely separate function now. And this is why you put this stuff after you accessed your data from the game instance. After you load to character, then please immediately update your unlocked doors. Otherwise, they will always have this stuff here, those 3 locked doors in our case. So it will always be on reset, okay? So we make sure that this locked door, sorry, not this one, here are our default values, okay? That this particular unlocked doors array is now removing all the stuff we have unlocked, okay? This is only getting filled with key IDs we already unlocked. And this is something we can save in our game instance, okay? And this will just get every single unlocked key ID gets added one by one, okay? If you're in the whole game, you unlock 20 doors, by the end you will have 20 things, 20 key IDs here. And on every event begin play, they will all getting removed if you unlock it. And this is crucial because the locked doors, when this particular one is removed, we can now access the door without a key. And this is basically the reason why we have to fix this. Good. So now I can just prove to you that this is working. So let me go get... so I'm using the game instance on event begin play, but it's locked. Okay, so we have by default everything. Also, when I press F, I can see... No, sorry, I did... Okay, I forget what I'm saying. I had a print, but I removed it. So now I can unlock it, go here. Okay, I can go back, because this doesn't have an ID. It's just a free door, basically. And now I can store it. Okay. And we're still using our game instance, and it's updated. It's not. It is, sorry, I'm confused. It is. I thought like, why I can go through. Of course it makes sense, I'm just confused, yes. So of course we have to go through without the key. I was just like temporarily like, why I can go through, because I'm confused. But okay, it's fixed. Okay, because we unlocked it. So this is what we wanted. Okay, we don't need the key anymore. And yeah, okay, so I showed you everything. Now it's working like a charm, okay? With the game instance, everything's updated. Now, I want to also tell you something regarding the game instance. I made a mistake in the previous episode. Regarding the max pickup slots. I believe I had this slot index. There was something called slot index, right? Let me see. So I mixed this one up. This is of course not right. Empty slot index. Don't put this in the game instance. Don't use it. What we need is the max pickup slots. I'm sorry for that. We need the max pickup slots. So we use the max pickup slots in our event. Here. Okay. There. This is the one we need. Not the empty. We don't use this, please, because then this will get reset and then you're not having empty slots again. All the empty slots are gone. Mine were gone. I was freaking out like, why are my slots gone? And then I realized, oh no, because this is the empty slot index. Yeah, the empty slot index is always 7, which means 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 means those are 8 slots in total, because he's counting from 0 and not from 1. So 7 means we have 8 slots by default, 8 empty slots in our inventory, right? And we're always doing, when we open our inventory, we're always calculating. So there's always one occupied. So our pistol is occupying one slot. So this means the empty slot index minus this max slot. In this case, it would be 1. Okay, because we picked up a weapon already. So it's already in our inventory. So this value is always 1 because we do add automatically when we press play. We already have automatically, thanks to our equip function, we have the pistol in our inventory. We add this pistol to our inventory when we don't have any weapon. Okay, so this happens automatically after we load from our game instance to our character. In the end, we have this equip weapon function, and this is why basically our max pickup slot will always go from 0 by default to 1 automatically. And this is why we calculate basically our empty slot index, which is always 7 minus 1 in this case. And then this is once we open up our inventory, the calculation would be this. We have our pistol. Okay, so this would be then 1, and this one would be 7, which means I told you, which is 8 slots. So 8 slots minus 1, and we have the right amount of empty slots. And when we grab more items, our max pickup slots will get increased 1 by 1. And this means that our max pickup slots, because it gets subtracted, our pickup slots will always decrease 1 by 1. Okay, so just make sure that you use this max pickup slots from your AC, and you get this. You use this for your game instance, and not the empty slot index. Okay, sorry for that. So from the event graph here, set max pickup slots. Okay, and from here, not the empty slot index, the max pickup slots. Okay, and just get it. This is this is for your event. Okay, and as I told you several times before, for your load to character function, you do the opposite. Okay, you do the opposite, which is in this case then you get the data from your game instance, get max pickup slots. Okay, this one, and then from here you set the max pickup slots. Set it from here, and then you have this is updated. Okay, good. So sorry for that. I just mixed those this up. So if you don't have empty slots, yes, because you did everything right, I was showing it wrong. Good. Then this is all the bug. Now we are clean. I showed you all the buggy stuff, how to solve it. Everything is good. You can see our empty slots are back here. Our storage is also working fine. Okay, so I'll prove it to you. You can just boom, boom, boom. You can see. Okay, good. And game instance, everything is safe. Everything is good. Unlockable, unlocked doors are now unlocked, and you don't need a key anymore, and you're still running with your game instance, and everything is fine. Good. Now I want to show you something. You see here in the item menu, I have this nice animation. I'm thinking like I have so much stuff now, so many like assets and this animation, so much stuff. And you don't have this, and it's giving you a hard time, because every time you want to follow along, you have to find something, you have to create something, you have to rebuild something, and this is a tedious process. So I'm thinking about like maybe just uploading it, maybe on how is it called? This Patreon stuff, something like this. Maybe I do like a Patreon, something like this, or maybe I find a website. I am not even sure. So maybe where you also have the chance to donate a buck if you want. So maybe I can do that, and then you get all those files. Okay, I might set this one up. Yeah. Just my apologies in advance. Don't wait for like I'm doing it now and within the next couple of minutes, or like immediately, because I have so much stuff to do. It's not because I'm I'm greedy and I don't want you to have it. It's just because I have a lot of stuff to do. This is the reason. So, but I might consider to give you those amazing things, like all those things I just modeled, right? So everything you see here, by the way, is modeled by me and textured by me. So I can give it basically. Okay, good. So yeah, just maybe you can also just comment if you want and tell me like, yeah, thumbs up, like just hype this channel, and leave a comment like, yes, I want this stuff, please. And so when the channel gets more hype, also of course my motivation increases to work more, okay, and provide additional stuff. So, but what I want to show you is how to implement this animation. Okay, so what you need to do is you just need an animation. You can also do this in Blender if you want. Just watch some tutorials. It's not really that hard. You need to invest a couple of, hours. If you're good, maybe you just need 1-2 hours. But it's not really that hard. You can just get an animation. I did this in Blender a couple of years ago. I think it's like 2 years ago, and I still have it. So I'm lucky. It's funny. I need to tell you what I did. I was like, okay, how can I rebuild this animation like in this old Resident Evil stuff? How can I just rebuild it? And I was just pretty, clever? Not really clever. I had the idea to do something weird, but it was successful. So what I did is, let me go to this newly created folder. You need to create this folder called videos in your content. Just create it, okay? And I will show you what to do. But first, let me open this one. For example, this caution. This is not the one. It is, but I need to open up something different. So I have caution here. So what I did in Blender, just for you, maybe you can just rebuild it. I will just tell you what to do, like roughly what to do. What I did, I used a curve modifier. I put the camera, you have a front view, you just use a curve modifier. You know in Blender when you just press Shift A, you know, like the shortcuts in Blender, Shift A, and then you get like this curve, and then Bezier curve. Just get a Bezier curve. And then in edit mode, basically you can just create a curve. You just make stuff like this. You can just move those vertices, right? And then you can just, with E, you can just extrude this one vertex, or those vertices, and then you can just place them accordingly, and then you can rotate them, and then you can easily get a nice shape, like so. I was just using a curve modifier. And then I was using a text, also in Blender. I just, like a 3D text or something like this. You can also do a 3D text. And then I was just placing the camera like so. And I had, and I gave myself like a 1920 by 1080 resolution. You can see, this is 1920 by 1080. And then I was just making it emissive. I had a completely pitch black background, completely pitch black. Just you can do like lighting in Blender, and then you just go to brightness and contrast and make it completely pitch black. It's pretty easy to set up. But I gave myself emissive color. So no, it was not emissive color. What I did, I gave it just a simple base color, and when it's completely pitch black, this only will be revealed when you have a light. So the light is basically like behind the camera, behind the front view, and then you animate the light from left to right. So you have a spotlight, really strong, and a little bit like a good sharpness, so like the cone of the spotlight is pretty thin and not really wide, okay? And then you place it from left, and then you just do this simple animation, like you have this key in the animation, and you just do it from left to right. You click on left, so in the beginning, make a key, I mean, you know, like simple basic animation stuff, and then you just move the camera just on the x-axis, you just move it on the x-axis, no, sorry, on the z-axis, you just move it from left to right on the z-axis. And then you put it on the right side, and then you make another, like after, let's say, like I think this animation is 2 seconds, exactly 2 seconds. So after 2 seconds, you put the key to the right side. So it takes the light 2 seconds from left to right. Pretty simple, pretty easy stuff. And then when everything's pitch black, but the light is shining automatically from left to right, like the light spotlight is just animating. And this is how I just revealed this stuff. And this one is not moving, right? This one is like static, like the light is static. So I was just having like I think I remember I had a different light, like a smaller spotlight, just a really tiny spotlight here. So this is always visible, okay? But you can see it's also changing a little bit from left to right, You can see. So this is just a moving light, nothing else. And I was just rendering those frames. And in total it's 2 seconds, so I believe it's 48 frames. So it's 24 frames per second, 24. So in total, 2 seconds animation, it's 48 frames. So you just render 48 frames. And this is it. And then you just convert it in DaVinci. You just convert it to a MP4. MP4, and the coding is H264. Right? This H264 is the coding. And then you have just this simple black background, and then you can just do it. You can just import it. So when you have something like this, okay? This is the fine. So I did 3 with 3 different colors, of course. And this is the critical. The critical, I just speed it up. And I made even more splines, like more like not splines, like more curves, like really chaotic, more aggressive curves. And fine is just like really nice, like a really beautiful shape. And caution is like something in between. Okay, so like just a little bit more chaotic, but still good. And critical is like completely getting out of place. So, but this is not about this episode. I want to show you how to import MP4s. So what you need to do is you create a folder called videos or movies, I don't care, inside your content, but do it outside, not here. Do it in your folder, in your Windows folder. Okay, do it there. Then you just drag and drop your 3 animations. So for me, it's fine, caution, and critical. Okay. Then your folder here is empty. When you open your project, it's still empty. He doesn't recognize MP4. What you need to do, you have them here because you just copy and pasted them here outside of this project. Okay. So you go into the folder in your Windows Explorer, but you cannot see them when you start your project. What you do, the first step is what you do. You go to media, first thing, file media source. Once you click on that, you call this fms_fine. For example, let me just call this example, okay, because I have it. So the first one, you do fms_, because it's a file media source, fms_fine. You open this one up. You only need to update the path. The path is content, videos, the folder you created. So in my case, this is my folder, Unreal Projects, RE Course, content, and you make a folder called videos or movies, and then you just drag and drop your things outside your project. You can see, those are my 3 videos, okay? I just rendered them in DaVinci. And you can see, look like how small that is. It's not even 1 megabyte. It's not even 1 megabyte, okay? It's really small. So there's nothing like bad in terms of performance, nothing. And the good thing is, so you set the path to content videos, okay? just make sure here it is this. And then click on open. Okay? Why is it not working? Wait. Yeah, because you have to click on this video, sorry. So you open up the content, then videos, and then you click on this video you want to really set up, okay? Of course, so you need to do it 3 times. Sorry for that, and then you just click open. And then you know this file path is exactly checking your video, okay? When you have this, then right-click again, media, and do a media player. Then click on media player and enable this. Video output media texture asset, and then click OK. Now he's creating 2 things. The media player, I call it example, okay? Example 1, for example. And now he's creating not only the media player, but also an example underscore video. So this is a media texture. So now what you have this file media source, you have the media player, and now you have the media texture, okay? So make sure when you open up this, this is okay. Sorry for that. You need to open up the media player, okay? And then you will see your thing here. Just click on it and make sure this is on loop. Click on loop. This is pretty important, okay? You can see for all the other stuff. Wait, let me just delete this. Maybe I'm just breaking things here. Where's the example? This one. Okay, so this is what you need to have, okay? And I just delete this because I don't need it. And when I open up my media texture, okay? No, not the texture. The media player, MP. I call it MP underscore. Then you can see, if you just click on this, make sure this is on loop. This is on loop. And this is on loop, okay? So all are on loop, and just save. And when you see it, it's being played, then it's fine. Then you know, okay, it's working. When you see this, it's being played, it's perfect. It's working, okay? Just follow just do what I told you. Now we want to make it visible in our inventory. What you need to do, pretty simple. You go inside your widgets again. RE character, no, inventory, widgets. And now right-click, user interface, create another widget blueprint. Call this widget blueprint health, there. Okay, call it health. Now this is empty for you. Start with the canvas again, always the same stuff. Start with the canvas, drag it inside your health. Then, into the canvas, you don't add anything here. You go back to your videos. Now listen, this is really important. You need to go back into your videos and you need to click on your video. So this is, in this case, this is the media texture. You need to click on it and you need to drag it inside. Sorry. No, what was it? Maybe I'm just too stupid. Wait, let me just... Why is it not working? Maybe I'm just too stupid to do... Yeah, sorry for that. You can drag it. Just drag it, then just drag it inside the canvas. But I think you can just also drag it here. It doesn't matter. Just drag it inside here. The media player. You need to drag it from here. Otherwise, it's not going to work. What I did here, so now you will have this MP. When you click on this, it will just create an image, okay? This is what I put inside. So when I was just getting my MP fine, this one, I was just dragging it inside, and then it's creating for you this image. Just call it here, just call it health, okay? But this is the one you just drag and drop. And then you can see this will be your MP, your media player, okay? What I did in this case, but it doesn't really matter, just set this one from fill to custom. So not fill screen, just set it from fill screen to custom. And I have mine 260 and height 130 in my case, okay? And also the anchor, I made sure that this anchor is on top left, okay, for this image. And position X and Y is 0 on 0, okay? And the canvas, also make sure that you drag this, okay? Oh no, sorry, you don't need to do that. Wait. No, sorry, this is stupid what I told you. And because I'm not using fill, I'm using custom. So just make this here. This must be the same size like this image you have. Or in this case, it's the video. The video, okay, is like so. So you need to define the X and Y according to your video so that it looks right and looks good. And then the canvas, set this one from fill to custom and then set the same width and the same height according to what you have here for your picture. Okay, so that is perfect. And the anchor, I have it on top left. Okay, here. Then just compile and save and make sure that this one is visible, but it will be by default. And then you go into your WB inventory because now you prepared it. You go into your inventory, widgets, WB inventory. Oh, I have it already. I'm blind. I have it already. And then you get this WB health from here and just drag it into the canvas. Drag it into the canvas, but make sure when this WB health is here on the bottom, just drag it up so it is right above the border. It's not inside the border, but it's right above. So you know what I mean, okay? And then you can then make sure that all those stuff here, I told you, avatar, and the border, and the transparent image, okay, except for the transparent image, sorry for that, but the blur and the avatar, everything, anchor is center. Anchor is center, okay? Transparent image, let me also do center. Yeah, okay, sorry for that, 0.5. This is something you don't need to pay attention to. This is just how I fix my stuff. So I was just getting my transparent image, also the anchor point, to center. But if you set this to center, you need to zero out the position X and Y, and then the alignment needs to be 0.5 and 0.5. So then it's really in the center. It's stupid, but you need to set the alignment to 0.5 and 0.5, and position X and Y to 0, and then make sure that the anchor is center. This is the best way to really make it centered. And I did this for all those things, okay? So, okay, for the blur, I also can do it like so, 0, 0, and then I need to set it to 0.5 and 0.5, and then you can see it's centered. This is just, yeah, I mean, you get the idea, but just make sure that these anchor points are the same for everything else, okay? Otherwise, it will not be aligned correctly. Good. Then, when you have this health thing, you will see it. You will already see this video, or in case this is an image, in this case. And just put it here. Just align it here properly, okay? And make sure that this is the same size. So I put mine, you remember, to 260 to 130. Make sure this one here is exactly the same, 260, 130. Make sure, okay? Good. And then you need logic in order to make it visible. So what I did is, I went into the WB Health again, go to the graph, and do right-click on construct. On construct is basically once this gets created, it's constructed, it's set, it's already set up by default. This is what event construct means. Okay? So this is how it's actually built when you just open it. This means you get open source. Just type in open source and just disable this context sensitive and get this open source, only the open source. Then he's going to ask you for a target. Just right click on the target and promote to variable. Right click on the target, promote to variable. Then you're going to have a media player. Otherwise you cannot, unfortunately, you cannot create a variable and search for the media player. It's not going to work. You need to promote a variable. So it's really, really tricky. Okay, so now you created this variable and inside the target you have this media. I call this media source, okay? And then down here, when you compile and save, choose your animation. Choose your animation. And this is the media source. And at the same time, I also choose the right health animation, the video. So now this is all you have to do for now, okay? So this means when I go to the WB inventory, and, oh, I don't even need to do anything, right? Let me check. No, you don't need to do anything. The only thing you need to do is actually just do this. So you don't need to add to viewport or something like this. You don't need. The only thing you had to do, which you already did, inside your WB inventory here, you just import your WB Health. And the WB Health is already part of your inventory. When you open your inventory, it's already visible. Okay? Just make sure that your WB Health is set to visible and not to hidden or collapsed. It would be pretty shit. Okay? So make sure that this is here visible. Okay? Good. And then you just place it, and then this event construct is basically here in your WB Health graph. This is just basically playing it. But now you have to do a change, okay? But this is pretty easy. When you want, you need to have caution and critical. So depending on your health. What you just do is get actor... No, sorry. I'm just totally confused. Get owning player pawn. Okay, always inside your widget. Get your owning player pawn, and then from there get component by class, or the same stuff. From there, you get your AC inventory. From there, get health. Okay, just get the health. I called mine player health. Okay? So this is the value which is 100 by default. When we start the game, this is 100, you can see here. So this is how you can make checks. Just do simple branch. It's not a lot of check. This is only getting, okay, it's getting checked every time you open up your inventory. Of course, it makes sense. Greater equal 0. So we're basically almost dead. Now it's fine. Yes, boom, 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 boom. Again, 40 damage, it's caution. 20. So now I have 10, and that's critical. And we don't have this weird stuff going on. Okay, so again, it's fine. 50 is still fine, give myself more damage. 40 is caution. 20 still in caution. 10 critical. Okay, so this is what you can do. Good. I will just leave it for now. Maybe there's a more performant way because yeah, we do booleans. Maybe we can do a switch on enum, connecting it to a float, or do a structure, or maybe I don't want to use a data table. It's just no. Why? We're just checking if it's fine, caution, or critical. So maybe it's good when we use a switch, or yeah, we can from our player we can access the health right away, and then from there, yeah, I will need to find a way, which is maybe more performant. But so far this is okay. And yeah, good. So now you know how to set this one up, right? Just get yourself an MP4, try to find something, just make sure it's a black background. In this case, it's working with a black background because my inventory here is completely black, like this part, okay? So this is working. If you want to have this transparent, you need to use a material, but the thing is, I'm playing a video. I'm not playing the material. I did create a material, but it's not really working. So I have materials. You can create them from your text, from your media texture. You can create a material, okay? And then you can set this one to, yeah, this is your texture sample, so your video basically. But this one is user interface and translucent, and then you can set this one to RGB, and this alpha channel is opacity, then this texture is transparent. But I didn't find a good way on playing textures. I didn't find a good way of doing that. But maybe there's a way, okay? So, but this is just how it can work, okay? This is just one solution on how to make it work. Good. So yeah. And then let me just remove this. Good. So we fixed a couple of things and we implemented, I did show you how to implement MP4 videos so you can actually make this if you want to, okay? Good, sweet.